Welcome back. This is Danberg SC. We are doing our update of October. This is the third week of October, and we're doing our update for how my Shogi stuff is going. So I've got a nice beer here. Cheers. I'm recording this at 11:30 p.m. on October 21st, and I just got back from my peace drop or my handicap lesson with my teacher and the other student. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm gonna keep trying to do these every week. So hopefully that you're still enjoying them, and you're thanks for tuning into it. So today what I'm going to talk about is kind of just what's been going on this month with my training and stuff like that, and how I'm doing, and a couple other things that are going in. So let's just get right into it. So just to kind of summarize from last time, our goals for this month was I wanted to try to promote past 2-piece drop. I wanted to hit Nanakyu, get over my ego, slow my hands down, get comfortable playing online. Were my big 5 points that I wanted to do this month. So on top of that, my teacher told me I have to my training as well for my homework and things like that. I've been needing to do 50 games a week. I have a tactics book I've been reading. I have to read it 5 times. I have to do at least 5 mate puzzles a day, and then I have to review new lines every day. So this has kind of been my overall strategy that I'm working on. I've already explained all this in detail in the first one, but last week I wasn't able to do 50 games at all. I only got in like about 25 games last week, so half of what I should have. That was because me and my wife went on a trip to a place that is famous for making shogi pieces, and we had a super fun time with that. I'm actually probably thinking about putting up an entire new video of just that trip, so I don't really want to talk about it here, but we got a lot of new toys and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. It was well worth the trip, but unfortunately we had to do a lot of driving, which cut into my ability to play, but I'm enjoying myself. So let's kind of go through this. Again, this week, 50 games a week. I wasn't able to do it. I'm restarting. I'm trying to get 50 games in before this Saturday. I'm recording this on Thursday, so I have to do about 10 games a day. If I do 10 games a day, I should be able to get it. That's doable. The tactics book, I'm reading it. I am on track of getting through this book more than 5 times. I've already read the first half of this book 10 times. So with the remaining week and a half of this month, I'm going to read the second half of the book at least 5 times and memorize it. So this is the part where I'm just I only have about 50 pages left of this book. And I have, I don't know what's the day. It's the 21st, I have until the 31st. So I have 10 days to learn about 50 pages. I could read that so quickly. So I could probably do it in one day, but I'm just going to really drill it in. So that's no problem. 5 mates a day. This is, this whole month was, let's get up to doing 5 mates a day. Let's be able to see 7 move checkmates quickly. I am able to, basically my new thing that I'm doing right now is 5 move checkmates. I have graduated myself past 5 move checkmates, so I'm starting to work on 7 move checkmates now. Which means if I run across a 5 move checkmate puzzle, I don't allow myself to stare at the page to solve it anymore. I look at the page for maybe 5 seconds to memorize what the image looks like, and then I look away. And I can't look back at the book until I see the checkmate, is how I'm doing it now. For 7 move checkmates, I'm allowed to stare at the page. But 7 moves are hard. They're very difficult. But I remember this is something that happened to me when I first did 1 move checkmate book. I couldn't see 1 move checkmates. It took me a while. And then after I read the entire book, I went back and tried to read it again. And it was just really difficult still. It was a little bit easier, but it was a little bit I was still having issues. And then I was like, okay, well, we need to start reading 3 move checkmates. And even though single move checkmates was really difficult, I started reading 3 move checkmates. I read that book. It was really difficult. And then I started reading that book a second time, and it was a little bit easier. And then I went back to single move checkmates, and I was able to see them like, oh, I can see this really quick and really easy. Boom, boom, boom. So I read all of the first move checkmate book a third time. So I was like, checkmate, single move checkmate, read it again, three move checkmate, read that again, went back to single move checkmate, read that once, good. Then I read the three move checkmate again. It was still a little bit difficult, but then I went to five move checkmate the first time, read that book, and then I read second time five move checkmate. Then I went back to single move checkmate, and I was able to burn through that book, just burn through it. Then I went through three move checkmate, and I was able to see those very easy. Then I read the five move checkmate book again a third time, and I was like, I've got this. After that, I was given this book by my teacher. Well, I was asked to pick up this book by my teacher, and I've been reading this, and I just finished it recently. This is a really good one. It's very difficult, but I got through it, so I actually bought a new 7-move checkmate book. So it's just 7 moves, and I'm starting to work on that from tonight when I go to bed. After I record this, I'll lay in my bed, and I'll do 7-move checkmates until I can't keep my eyes open like I do every night, and then I'll go to sleep. So the checkmate stuff is really working. I'm not going to be able to do the part of C moves quickly. This is one of the parts I put on my target. I'm not going to be able to do it quickly, but I can see it. So that's that. As far as studying my lines every day, I'm working on it. I've kind of shifted away more of the line study and more into this tactics book and these checkmates, because that's really helped me with my my peace drop tournament and stuff like that. My peace drop tournament, my peace drop class and stuff like that. So for homework and stuff like that this week, I'm not doing too well with the 50 games a week, but everything else I'm doing, with these two, I'm doing very well. This study lines for review, I'm kind of leaning more on these two rather than doing this. I'm doing a lot more in 5 mates a day though. I'm doing close to 100 a day, I think, probably. Anyway, let's go back to target goals. So trying to promote after 2-piece promotion this month. This is something I don't think I'm going to be able to do right now in my checkmate stuff. So this is kind of what the game looks like. This is my teacher's side over here. He's got all of the pieces minus the Hish and the Kaku piece, and I have all of my pieces down here. He usually, the person without pieces gets to take the first move. This is kind of how our games always look. This is just Joseki, or the standard moves of just standard moves. It's just, this is how you play 2-piece checkmate without, like, this is the best way to do it. This is just how I have learned to do it, and this is how we practice with my teacher. Let me see here. Then we've got, it's not the perfect order, but I know kind of what to do. Puts this here. I drop back to here. Then he moves like this. I do this. He moves here. I do this. He does this. I do this. He does this. I do this. He does. What is this point? This. I do this. He does this. I do this. He does this. Then I do this. He does this. I do this. And then it's his turn. And in a lot of books, you'll see these two pieces switched, actually. But my teacher does this as his style. Is very difficult because I'm trying to attack to this piece here, right? Like, I'm trying to attack up here. And it's very difficult. If I kind of, like, if he allows me to, usually what he'll do in this position is something like this. Go here, go like here, and then I push like this. This is usually what the game looks like in our style, but recently he's not been doing these moves. These moves. He's been attacking over here and doing pawn pushes over here and things like that, and attacking me. So until now, I've been relatively comfortable, and my teacher told me today, basically, like, if I do these move sets where I am allowing this, like, usually what he'll do in this position is here, I will take, he drops back, and then I usually drop here. And, like, there's just a lot of like attacks going on. So if he doesn't allow me to do that anymore, instead of doing these moves, he'll like push this pawn. And if I just ignore it and do something like this, he gets this position here. And then if we continue this attack pattern, what usually happens is we will trade these 3 pieces for these 3 pieces, which is actually poor for me because I'm throwing this piece away for this, but I'm also going to promote this piece up here, so I get a good advantage. But the problem is if he gets this Kama over here when we trade, it's very bad for me. So I can't, like, it's been taking me a couple games to figure out how to actually like defend these pushes and things like that. Like, he's doing all kinds of like very difficult like attacks and things, and I just have to kind of deal with it. So it's been a lot of fun. It's really good learning experience. And he's telling me, like, today we played he played the most difficult line that he plays today. It was kind of like this. I don't remember exactly, but it was kind of like that, where we would trade these pieces. It was basically dead even on pieces that we have in our hand. And he was, you know, this is it doesn't look normal, but this is kind of how we've been playing recently. It's been a lot of fun. It's just really hard. I'm rambling. Let me take a sip. Let me fix my hair. So, Jesus, got to get a haircut. Anyway, so this is how my piece drop is going. I talked to him today, and he was saying that basically me trying to promote the piece drop within this month isn't possible. I'm not able to get it yet. But he told me that if, again, like I said in a minute ago, if he allows me to just attack him and he tries to absorb my attack, I win every time. If he tries to attack me while I'm attacking, I'm getting very good at reading how to absorb his attacks and things like that, and I can do that no problem now. But my issue is endgame. My end game is still an issue, and I've said that like every week for forever, and my end game keeps getting better, but it's just not good enough still for me to promote past this yet. And it was interesting. There's something in the Japanese that they call hishi, and hishi is like, the kanji is kanarazu shinu, but that doesn't mean much to people that don't know Japanese. Hishi is a term that's like, it might be something like forced mate in English. I'm not sure what's the translation for it, but basically it means I put the position in the board where if he tries to absorb my attack, he dies. If he tries to attack outside of it, and if he doesn't checkmate me literally in that next sequence, he dies. So dies as in he gets checkmated. I don't kill my teacher, obviously. That's ridiculous. But it comes down to the point where I basically give my teacher or my opponent one hand of, okay, you have one hand to attack me. If you don't checkmate me, I'm going to win this game. And today he said he played his most difficult variation of the game against me that he has practiced against, you know, people that are way better than me. He's developed this style that's very difficult to play, and he played that against me, and I could have won it if I saw that there was one of this called hishi hands. And I played a bunch of moves, and then at the end of the game, he walked back and he was like, "This was your bad move." And I was like, yeah, I know. As soon as I played that move, I felt like I lost all control of the board. Like, I was getting close to checkmating you, but I just couldn't find the checkmate. And he like put the board back into the position I showed you basically a minute ago. There's a couple moves after that. We played a couple more hands. But in that basic position, he was saying like, what's another move that you could do? And I looked at the board for a second. And I was like, oh my God, right here. There was a position on the board where if I had put a gold right here, if I had, when we ended up trading, I took these 2 golds from him. I had a lot of his pieces in my hand, but if I had dropped a gold here in this square right here, I basically would have won because he couldn't have escaped anymore. And I realized that, I realized that after the game, and I was like, oh my God, if I would have found that, I would have been able to beat you. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. So I'm doing a lot better with piece drop. I just have to keep working on my end game. Next is the Nanakyu rating games. This Saturday, I have another competition, and I will be. Here we go, boom. Oh, I don't have my. Let me see. 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 Let Oh, I don't have my oh, okay, here we go. Boom. Hachikyu is what I am. Sorry, it's I'm jumping over anyway. So I'm still 8th class or Hachikyu right now. But my teacher basically said if I play as well as I did last week in the tournament, then I will promote to Hachikyu this weekend. The only reason Nanakyu, not 7th rank this weekend. 7th class, jeez, not rank. 7th class this weekend. So I just have to go in and play like I did last time, and if I do that and I win my games that I should win and I lose the games I should lose, then I will promote to the next level basically. So I'm feeling very confident. I want to get in and do my best. So potentially next week when I do my next discussion, I might be doing it as a Nanakyu rather than a Hachikyu, which it's taken me a year to promote one league. It's very difficult. Anyway, next is getting over my ego, making sure I understand I'm not as good as I am. I think I am, and it makes losing easier. This is something that I have actually been really focused on recently, and I lost the game last week to someone that I shouldn't have lost to in a practice game. We played when I was at the school last week, or 2 weeks ago, sorry. I was playing someone that I've played a bunch of times, and he's the same league as me right now. But I have not lost to him in maybe 6 or 7 games. We've played practice games, we've played rated games, we've played all kinds of games together, and I have not lost to him. And the last game of the last thing, I was tired. I had played like 10 games. I was tired, and he was like, do you want to do one more before we leave? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I played a game together, and I lost it. And I was thinking, I was like, why did I lose this game? And I made a bunch of stupid mistakes, and it was because I was like, I basically felt like I can't lose against him anymore because I've beaten him so many times. And I got this arrogance that I can't lose against him, I don't need to think, and then I lost. And I was like, immediately like, there it is. There's the ego that has come back and tried to fight me. So I've been very careful after that to never assume that my opponent is poor and just assume that my opponent is going to find the best moves. And it's really helped me. So I feel like I am getting over this ego that I had about being better than I am at literally almost the lowest league possible. So I feel much more humble at the end of this month than I did at the beginning of this month. And a lot of that has from me just talking it out here and being able to get this kind of therapeutic venting out. So I appreciate everyone listening to my rambling. But yeah, hopefully next time I turn on the camera to do one of these, I will have this over my name rather than 8. So hopefully that is. Next is slowing down my hands. I have gotten so much better at slowing down my hands. Before I make my first move of any game, I always take a deep breath. I wait. Even if my time is clicking down, it's just like, that's fine. Let the time click down. I allow my time to move past me so that I can focus on the game itself. Some of the things I still have an issue for, like today in one of the games that I played with my teacher for Peace Drop, there was a move that I made in, we played 3 games today, and I think the second or first game, wasn't in the last game. The second or first game, I played a move where I felt he's either going to ignore this move and try to attack me, and if he does that, I can push this pawn again and get into a really advantageous position, or he's going to take it with the gold. If he takes it with the gold, I can put another pawn down here, and then I can actually take the gold for the silver and trade, and it's a better trade for me. And I dropped the pawn, and I didn't even think about him taking it with his king, because if he took it with the king, it would pull the king towards all of my like attacking pieces, and it looked really dangerous. So I didn't even calculate it. I didn't even look at it. I thought, that's a dumb move. There's no way he's going to do it. And he actually did the move, and I was like, I didn't calculate that at all because I thought it was just a bad move. And it turns out my teacher was like, yeah, well, you played like the best move on the board at that position. And if I ignore it, you're going to promote the Hisha, your rook, your strongest piece, you're going to promote your rook. If I take with the pawn, as you said, you're going to trade this silver for my gold. My gold is my best defensive piece. Your silver is your most offensive piece. So you're basically destroying my castle with your piece that you're attacking with, and then you get a stronger piece to attack with, and I get a weaker piece to castle with after this. So it's just a terrible situation for me. So the only available position was for me to take with the king, which brings it closer. It's scary, but he was like, I read through what your options were, and there was no way for me to be checkmated in that area. You had to have done another attack over here to checkmate me, and if you had found that, you would have won, but you didn't find it. So he put it into the position where, like, he wasn't allowing me to do what I wanted to do. He took it with a different way and I was like, I didn't even calculate that. Like, I thought it was just a crazy move. So I was like, oh, there's no way he's going to make that move. Let's just not even look at that line. And that line ended up beating me because I was like, what? And I spent like, we do 10-minute games with 30-second bonus time. So, bonus time, what that means is, it's called in Japanese, I don't know if it's in Japanese or if it's just a chess term, it's called byoyomi. So what byoyomi is you have your 10 minutes plus 30-second byoyomi. And so 10 minutes, that's just runs as regular time. You hit the button on your clock, your time starts. When you hit your button again, when you hit your button, your time stops, it goes to them, and then your time just only goes down. After you run out of that 10 minutes, when you hit your clock, it starts at 30 seconds, and then that counts down. And it can be 3, 2, 1, you hit your clock, and it resets back to 30 seconds. So next time it's your turn, you have 30 seconds again. So you don't get bonus time. It's not 30 seconds every move. So if I only use 15 seconds and then I hit the button, I don't get 30 and then have a net 45. It just says, I have 30 seconds. You have to make a move within 30 seconds. You don't get more. If you use more than 30 seconds, you're out based on time. So I spent like 6 minutes looking at this. Of my 10 minutes of my time, I spent 6 minutes looking at this attack, and I pushed this pawn, and then he took it with the king, and I was like, oh my God, I spent 6 minutes. Over 60% of my time I spent looking at this whole, like, how things could move. And he did a move that I completely just didn't calculate. Now, my calculation is still very slow because I'm very bad at the game, but still I was like, oh my God, I have 4 minutes left to try to figure out how to deal with that move without just dying. And then I got to a good position, but it came down. I didn't have enough time to really think about it. I had to make moves within 30 seconds, and that's when I really start to have issues. If we're in the end game, and I have 30 seconds to make a move, it's kind of easy to calculate going, is there a checkmate that he has on me? Read for the checkmate. If I can't see the checkmate, we continue the attack that I'm already doing. If I'm in the end game and I don't have an attack set up for me to try to checkmate him, I have more problems that I've messed up in the mid game. So my whole purpose is, during the mid game, set up an attack that you're doing to try to checkmate your opponent. So in the end game, all I have to do is focus on, can I be checkmated? If I can be checkmated, I need to do something about that. If I can't be checkmated, use my whole time to look at, is there ability to be checkmated? If I can't see it, use the remainder of my time to see, is there a better way for me to attack? If not, just do the attack that I was trying to set up during the mid game. So it's relatively easy, but it's hard to see if there's a checkmate on me, especially when trades start happening. So anyway, I'm kind of rambling on a bit, but I'm able to slow my hands down is the end of the story. So, like, I've been able to actually start looking at the way that the pieces are moving, and I've been able to calm down and let time flow and then make a move. And I don't rush. I don't try to slap things down. It's always like, okay, let's check our boxes if everything's going on. So that's what I've been working on. Lastly, getting comfortable playing online. My ladder anxiety. I made a lot of excuses about, oh, I was on holiday and I couldn't play all of my games. But I could have. I absolutely could have played all of my games if I was more dedicated and not so ladder anxious about getting online. Right now, I'll show you why I'm so anxious about this. So right now, let me just get this set up for a second. So one of the issues I'm having right now in my ladder anxiety is the fact that I am so close to promoting always. So I'll show you right now. Here we are. This is where I am right now. I'm at 1,199. I'm a 6th rank on this. So, but this, I don't really care about this ranking. I'm an 8th class in my school. I'm a 6th class online because my school is difficult. So if I get one more point, if I hit 1,200, I'm in 5th class. This is where the anxiety hits me always, is I get to 1 point, I get within 1 point of the next class promotion, and then my body is like, I can't do it. So I've been here, I'll show you. So this is my, oh, not wrong. Let's go 100 games. So this is my statistics of how I've played the last 100 games. You can see I'm this 100, 1,000, 1,200. This, if I get 1,000, if I hit 1,000, 1,200, I become a 5th rank. I've been 1199 once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and this is my 6th time I've been 1199. And I get anxious every time I hit this because after that I always lose, drop to a valley, then claw my way back up on the ladder, lose, stay in the valley, slowly claw my way back up. But what I am happy about now is the frequency of this. So before, this was first time I ever hit it, back in last month. Then I hit it at a couple of days later. And if you look now, the frequency of me getting it is getting much closer together. But the last game I played was on the 18th. It's the 21st. So I've just been anxious to get back on because I want to win, but I just don't have the confidence. So this is one of the issues I'm having with everything going on right now. So again, my ladder anxiety is a problem. So I try to overcome the ladder anxiety by setting a required amount of games that I need to play a week. So it's like, look, even if I am 1 game away, it's like, it doesn't matter. I have to play this game in order to hit my 50 games a week. And I'm trying to get that. So I think the next thing I'm going to do to try to get over my ladder anxiety is after work is when I have the time to play. As we talked about in my schedule when I'm playing. So this is my schedule that I'm working on right now for this month, is basically between 8 to 10 o'clock. I'm playing Shogi online as much as I can. And after work, I'm tired and I kind of want to have a beer and relax, but I also need to play these games. And I need to remember that I'm only playing these games to try to get comfortable and try to get more experience with the game and to be more comfortable behind the board. I don't need to be playing try hard every game. I want to try to play my best every game, but I don't need to play like I'm going to, this is for $100,000 every game. So it's okay to have a beer. It's okay to have 2 beers. It's good to have 5 beers and play these games. I can be drunk and play these games if I want. It's just getting comfortable, getting on the ladder and playing games. Obviously, if I'm drunk, if I'm trashed, I'm going to play like ass and I'm going to lose MMR. But again, my MMR that I care about isn't online. I don't even care about the MMR I have online. I'm 6th class online. I'm 1 point away from 5th class. 6 times I've been 1 point away from 5th class, but I never consider myself a 5th class. I always consider myself an 8th class because that's where I am in my school. And if I play well this weekend, I will finally promote to a 7th class. So the online numbers don't actually mean anything to me at all, but I still have this anxiety about it. So I'm like, how do I get past this? So that's what I'm still trying to work on, and I think I just need to sit down and just play the damn game and just get comfortable with it. So this part, unfortunately, I think is going to bleed into next month as well. I'm going to really try to get more behind this. My teacher notices this, I think, and he was saying that maybe I should live more in books next month rather than play online. I agree with him to a point, but I also need to just be comfortable playing these games. Sometimes I'll watch chess streamers and stuff like that, and I've watched these people play chess online for 14 hours. Just play game, play game, play game, play game, play game. And it's like, I wish I could do that. I wish I could just sit and relax and play and just have a good time and play, but it's like I always have to be super focused on everything. It's just my mentality. It's just my mentality. I have to break that idea and be super focused at school when I'm actually working, when I'm actually playing over the board. So my rule should be, if I'm playing over the board, let's focus on it. If I'm playing with like friends or something like that, if we're gonna sit around and drink and play games, that's totally different. If I'm over the board like that, but online, I should just be focused on, let's try to find something that no one's ever played against me before, and how do I react against it? Or me try to do a different line that I've not thought of, like, okay, well, maybe this will work, and try and experiment on it. That's what online should be. And I just haven't been able to get through it. So, I have finished my beer. I've been talking for 30 minutes. I'm also starting to work out. I'm fat. You can see it in my neck. So hopefully in the next couple weeks, I'll thin out here so I look better. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to stop talking now. This has been my longest one for as of now. But I kind of liked just sitting and venting about this. And if you liked it, thanks for sticking around. If not, sorry you wasted your time on mine. But I'll put another one up next week. And hopefully I can change from 8th class to 7th class and get at least 1 point. Or 2 points, or so this is not yet, this potentially I can pass this month. I feel like I'm improving on this. I don't think I have completely overcome my ego yet. I think I've done a good job of slowing my hands down. I just have to actually read all the lines, and then I have not done this yet. So we're looking at maybe shooting 50% on our goals this month, which isn't great, but it's better than 0. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.